Number 10. The accessory muscle. Ever been working out, flexing in the mirror, and thought to yourself, man, I am a walking sculpture of pure muscle fiber and ego? Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but chances are you're not as special as you think. Unless, of course, you have an accessory muscle. And no, that's not a muscle you wear with your outfit. It's an extra muscle that some people are born with, typically in their forearm. We're talking about the palmaris longus. It's a long, slender muscle that runs from your elbow to your wrist and helps you grip things. The weird part? About 15% of the population is missing it on one or both arms, and it doesn't even matter. Scientists think it was super important back when we were climbing trees and flinging bananas at each other, but now it's just kind of there. It's like the appendix of your arm, a vestigial relic of a forgotten evolutionary era. To check if you have it, press your thumb and pinky together and flex your wrist. See that tendon pop up in the middle of your wrist? That's your palmaris longus showing off. If you don't see it, congratulations. You're part of the 15% club, and you can still open a jar of pickles just fine. Honestly, it's just a flex for your flex. Number 9. Supernumerary nipples. Some things are just plain weird, like when you're watching a movie and the main character has a third nipple, and it's not a joke. It's called a supernumerary nipple, and it's a lot more common than you think. Around 1 in 18 people have one, and it's usually mistaken for a mole or a freckle. These things can pop up anywhere along your milk line, which is an imaginary line that runs from your armpit to your groin, where mammals, in general, develop nipples. It's an evolutionary throwback to when we were a litter-bearing species. Imagine being a dog, but with a human-sized brain, and you get the picture. They can be fully formed nipples, or just a little bump with a bit of a darker hue. The weirdest part is that they can even produce milk. Yeah, milk. So if you ever notice a weird dark spot on your chest or belly that isn't a freckle, it's probably just a third nipple. A little weird, a little funny, but mostly it's just your body reminding you that we're all just slightly more advanced puppies. Number 8. The C-shaped ear ever looked at someone's ear and thought, that's a weirdly C-shaped ear. Well, you probably haven't, because most people's ears look pretty normal. But if you have an ear that looks like it's missing a little fold, you might have what's called a Stahl's ear. It's a congenital ear deformity that makes the top of your ear look a little pointy, like a goblin or an elf. It's caused by a weird fold in the cartilage that makes the top of your ear look a little flat. It's not a big deal, it's just a little different. It's like your ear tried to be a regular ear, but then got bored and decided to take a little shortcut. People with Stahl's ears are more likely to have other ear problems like hearing loss, but it's not a guarantee. It's just a reminder that your body is full of weird little quirks that make you, well, you. And if you're a goblin or an elf, it's just a fashion statement. Number 7. Supernumerary teeth. Remember being a kid and thinking it was cool to lose a tooth? Well, imagine having so many teeth that they start to grow in places they shouldn't. This is called supernumerary teeth, and it's when you have extra teeth growing in your mouth that aren't part of your regular set. It's not a common thing, only affecting about 1 to 3% of the population. But when it happens, it's like a dental surprise party in your mouth, and you're the only one invited. These extra teeth can pop up anywhere. The roof of your mouth, behind your regular teeth, even in your sinuses. Scientists aren't sure what causes them, but they think it's a mix of genetics and weird developmental glitches. They can be fully formed teeth or just little nubs of enamel and dentin. They can also cause all sorts of dental problems, like crowding, misalignment, and even cysts. So, if you ever go to the dentist and they say, hey, you have an extra tooth, don't be alarmed. It's just your mouth's way of saying, I'm a little extra and I'm proud of it. Number 6. The Darwins tubacle. Ever heard the phrase, I'm a descendant of a monkey? Well, if you have a Darwin's tubercle, you might be closer to that than you think. It's a small, harmless bump on the outer rim of your ear, and it's a remnant of a pointed ear. You know, like the ones you see on monkeys and other primates. It's a throwback to a time when our ears were shaped differently, and it's a lot more common than you'd think. About 10% of the population has one, and it's more common in males. It's also more common in people from certain parts of the world, like India and Pakistan. The weirdest part? It's not always a bump. It can also be a little fold or just a slight point. It's just your body's way of reminding you that we all came from the same place, and that we're all a little bit wild on the inside. Number 5, the accessory spleen. Ever heard of a second spleen? No? Well, get ready to have your mind blown. Some people are born with an extra spleen, and it's called an accessory spleen. It's a lot more common than you'd think, affecting about 1 in 5 people. The weird part is that most of the time it doesn't cause any problems. It's just a little extra organ chilling out in your abdomen, doing its job of filtering your blood and fighting off infections. The only time it becomes a problem is if you have to have your main spleen removed. Then the extra spleen might have to be removed as well. It's a little like having an extra kidney, but without all the drama. So if you ever have a CT scan and the doctor says, "Hey, you have an extra spleen," don't be alarmed. It's just your body's way of saying, "I'm a little extra and I'm here to help." Number 4, distichiasis. You're watching a movie, and the hero is giving a dramatic speech, and you notice their eyelashes. They're not just long, they're double, like 2 rows of eyelashes on the same eyelid. This is called distichiasis, and it's a super rare genetic condition that affects about 1 in 100,000 people. It's caused by a weird mutation in a gene that's responsible for the development of hair follicles. The weirdest part is that it can affect 1 or both eyes, and it can range from a few extra lashes to a full second row. The extra lashes can also grow inward and cause irritation, which can lead to vision problems. But if they grow outward, they can look like super long, luscious lashes that most people would pay good money for. So if you ever see someone with 2 rows of eyelashes, they're not wearing falsies. They're just a little extra, and they were born that way. Number 3. The missing plantaras. You're sitting in a doctor's office, and the doctor says, "Hey, you're missing a muscle in your leg." You'd probably be a little freaked out, right? Well, don't be. About 10% of the population is missing a muscle called the plantaras, and they don't even know it. It's a small, long, slender muscle that runs from the back of your knee to your heel. It's a vestigial muscle, which means it doesn't do much anymore. It's like the appendix of your leg. It's there, but it's not super important. It's believed to have been a very important muscle for our ape ancestors, who used it to grab things with their feet. Now, it's just kind of there. The weirdest part is that you can have it in one leg, but not the other. It's just a little genetic quirk that makes you, well, you. And if you're missing it, don't worry. You can still run a marathon, and you can still kick a soccer ball just fine. Number 2, the extra rib. Ever heard of someone having an extra rib? It's called a cervical rib, and it's a lot more common than you think. About 1 in 500 people have one, and it's usually a small extra rib that grows from the bottom of your neck. It's usually harmless, but it can sometimes cause problems. It can press on nerves and blood vessels, which can cause pain, tingling, and numbness in your arm. It can also cause a condition called thoracic outlet syndrome, which can be pretty painful, but most of the time, it's just a little extra bone that's chilling out in your neck. It's just your body's way of saying, "I'm a little extra, and I'm proud of it." Number 1, double helix hair. You're scrolling through TikTok and you see someone with a weird hair pattern. It's not a cowlick, but it's not normal either. It looks like their hair is growing in 2 different directions, and it's a lot more common than you'd think. It's called a double helix hair pattern, and it's when you have 2 swirls of hair on your head instead of 1. It's a genetic quirk that's more common in males, and it's a lot more noticeable in people with curly hair. The weirdest part is that scientists don't know what causes it. They think it's a random genetic mutation, but they're not sure. It's just a little genetic quirk that makes you, well, you.